Tonight, from Mexico City, it's the NFL International Series on EA Sports. We'll see Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I can give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
Kicker, that's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started. And we are underway from Mexico City. Now, couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll send the slot in motion left. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And every time you step on a field, coaches are always going to talk about how important tackling is in a ball game. In this one, especially so. You can't allow these guys to break free and get extra yards after contact, but that's exactly what happens here. That can't continue as this game goes on.
Throwing
throwing on first down is Mahomes. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Hits his running back, P-Ride. And he was able to shed one tackle, but could not get away from there. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
2nd and 5. Now Mahomes. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. A timeout here for an injured player. And definitely not what this defense wants to see. It's Khalil Mack who's in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Mahomes to throw once more. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
This is part of why this guy's got multiple MVPs on the mantle. We're used to seeing him make the impossible throws, but here Mahomes knows he's got nothing, so he wisely just gets rid of it.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. On the ground, it's Gray. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And this defense holds on the Knights' opening drive. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It can change momentum in a big way.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
This 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Herbert now. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
On first down, Justin Herbert. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Herbert. It's taken in by Quentin Johnston. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And the officials here are going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second down and a yard. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Back to throw here, Herbert. Eluding the pressure, and he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Herbert taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Chargers put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking. Nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And a a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride in the offense this go-around. On first down, Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe, because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That good for 19 on a first down. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they're able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Mahomes now on first down. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Now Herbert following the turnover. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. A nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
Partner, took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
On play action, it's Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd and 6. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Flush to it, and he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was all capped by Patrick Mahomes using his legs to get in the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Charger defensive unit making their way back out there. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Here's Herbert. That ball caught by the rookie from Georgia. His first catch, good for 9 in the 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Second and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first and 10, it's Dobbins. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 8. Now it's Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, Ray, seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to come from with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 43. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
A 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Under a minute to go, clock running at a back-and-forth first quarter of play. Mahomes now on first down. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
A run by Pacheco on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. These two teams all tied after 1. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Chiefs first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll get this complete to Worthy. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Looking to throw. That's into the hands of Worthy. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And it's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit, because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And that is no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. For its next possession. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Charger drive about to get going. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, Herbert. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Herbert, he's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. A give. Dobbins trying the right side. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's George Karlaftis greeting him behind the line with a big stop.
This defense is really flown around in the 1st half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Back to throw. Herbert. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7. But they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? Over the middle and caught by McConkey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Looking to throw. Herbert. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Back to throw. Herbert. Well, throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
They start on the ground with Pirine. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
2nd down and 4. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. That ball caught. It's Rice. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Looking to throw is Mahomes. It's complete to Hopkins. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this, because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 5. Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs 1st down as the tackle is made right at the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains, because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out.
He's got a man complete. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Xavier Worthy, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Butker on for the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On 1st down, it's Herbert. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert. Short throw to Disley. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. His throw incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. That's taken in by Palmer. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 34-yard line. The Chargers' passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 34. Here's a give to Dobbins running right. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 41 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Herbert on first down now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Herbert. Open man right side is Shark. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. First carry now for Gus Edwards. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Remaining in this first half of football. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Herbert now. Touchdown! Will Disley from 3 yards out. And the Chargers are once again back in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. That time, a 9-play drive, and it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. After the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs ready to go again. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
We can see offensive pass interference called on this play from time to time. The tight end's going to sell that he's going outside. Let the slot receiver come past, and then work himself back to the inside. Sure enough, he's left with some open space, and he picks up the first down.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Joey Bosa, his second sack of the night.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They go play action. Now Mahomes on the move past the 40 and down right around the 37. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. To throw, it's Mahomes. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. Short throw, hauled in by Kelce. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now it's timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And that will tie things at 17 all. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Here's Darius Davis on the return. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. Heading to intermission as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. And
all right, Brandon, back to you, too, in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. To get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
From the 31, here's second down and 3. Play action. It's Herbert. A swing pass here to Edwards. And he goes out right around the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Back to throw here, Herbert. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Johnston on the quick slant. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On second down, a run with Dobbins. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Open man, it's Palmer. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up second down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Three yards to go on second down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. Dobbins trying the left side. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Michael Dana coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
That's a ball he needs to let go of there. Wasn't the most time in the world to work through his progression, but NFL quarterbacks, they've got to sense the pressure. They've got that internal clock, and the ball has to be gone. And if you're not going to escape and run for it, you have to let it go before the pressure gets to you and puts you on the ground.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That is caught downfield. It's Worthy. Now he's loose down the middle of the field. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy, his second touchdown of the night. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Butker now to add the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. From that distance, what an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped at his tracks at the line of scrimmage. There on the stop was Leo Chanel. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Here now, a 3rd down and 8. Here's Herbert. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And
it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 2nd and a couple. They go play fake. Mahomes. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Now here's Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
From the 43, here's 2nd down and 7. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Pacheco. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And incomplete. Will Dissly, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 64 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
first down. Justin Herbert escaping the pressure right. And Herbert going to slide to a stop, and he has a first down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 39-yard line. Herbert. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. That one complete to McConkey. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 24-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And down to the 20. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is and get going moving the football.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And his kick here is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
On 2nd down, P. Ryan. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Mahomes now to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Can't go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. On 1st down, Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And the catch made by Hopkins. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. And again, it's Mahomes. Steps away to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Up the middle, here's Pirine. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's Pirine again on 2nd down. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They come to the line. They will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Mahomes now on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's Hopkins. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And the Chargers are right back in this football game. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Here's Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the short catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Pass hauled in by Johnston. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. That's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going for it with Dobbins. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? Just a quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he'll take this close to a 1st down at the Chiefs' 43-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Now it's Herbert. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd down and 6 now. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. Back to throw. Herbert over the middle, complete. It's Edwards. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Herbert on 1st down now. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Herbert got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnston. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Dobbins, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5, pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Dobbins. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Herbert. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Lad McConkey from 4 yards out. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for two, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that, amazingly, a 17-play drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. This one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Here's Mahomes to throw. That's into the hands of Worthy. His huge night, it just continues as he's now north of 200 yards receiving. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. Mahomes going to throw. He's across midfield. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
A great job there, and that old cliche, take it where the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll hand it to Pirine. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. They'll run again with Pirine. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. To throw, it's Mahomes.
Sideline catch pulled in here by Bray.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And they ran just a little underneath route here on first and goal, but there's really not a whole lot of room to operate this close to the goal line. He's just not able to get loose after the catch.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Now Mahomes gives to Hunt. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on third and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Again, it's Hunt. But he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3.
That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
And I don't think there should be much of a discussion here, but you know how I am. You kick the football, you take the lead. How bold do you want to be in this situation, though?
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for the lead in the final stages. Butker's kick here is good, and they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it, happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Returnable here for Davis.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Herbert and the Chargers down by a field goal. 2:18 on the clock. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it first and 10. First down, it's Herbert. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Another try, second and 10 now. Herbert now. They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
Herbert to throw.
Flushed out right. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. One thing that makes him so tough in these 2-minute drills, you got to take into consideration he's mobile.
And that's a big plus for him, but he also has to be careful with that mobility. Sometimes getting rid of the ball and stopping the clock is more important than running around and maybe taking a sack.
Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
3rd and long coming up defensively. You pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the 1st as the tackle is made at the 33. First things first here, they got to pick up the 1st down.
And remember, it is 4th down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The Chiefs now going to use the 1st of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here.
And with time of factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And not a whole lot there, maybe 3 yards on 1st down.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
So 4 quarters couldn't decide it, and it'll be the Chiefs who get the football first in this overtime session. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. KC's offense ready to take over. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. First throw of overtime for Mahomes. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectation.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all, because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
Mahomes' throw complete there to Rice. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. And he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And Mahomes picking up the first as he slides and hits the deck. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Mahomes gets it out quickly, and it's complete out wide. And he is into the end zone. They accomplish what they set out to do as they will take the lead here in overtime.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Chargers ready to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. Now a first throw here in overtime. Oh, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Nick Bolton.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night, everybody.